Hi, this is Patrick Rocks, and this is my video summary of the article that I read this week entitled Investigating the Moderating Role of Coping Style on Music Performance Anxiety and Perfectionism. This article was written by Dominic McNeil and written in 2022. So this study is looking at a couple of things. One is type of perfectionism. Two is music performance anxiety. And then three is how different coping strategies are utilized to curtail the negative effects of music performance anxiety. Based on previous research, connections were drawn between styles of perfectionism and coping strategies that were used to lessen the effect of music performance anxiety. And that's kind of the starting place for this research study. So first, let's just learn about the two types of perfectionism and the correlating types of coping strategies. Again, this was in the literature review based on former research studies, and then was used in the survey and study that McNeil actually conducted. So perfectionism types fall into two categories. One is PSP, or personal standards perfectionism. The other is ECP, or evaluative concern perfectionism. PSP refers to individuals who are independently and internally motivated to set a high performance standard for themselves. And then ECP are individuals who are motivated to perform at a high level based on external factors, such as a review panel or for some sort of an evaluation. Based on former studies, a relationship between the perfectionism type and coping strategy has kind of become common practice, and this is kind of looked at further in the results of the survey. So PSP individuals employed an active coping strategy to deal with the anxiety that they felt leading up to a performance. Active strategies looked like task setting or goal setting, being very task oriented in their approach to preparing for a performance. And then ECP used an avoidance strategy, which looks like distraction or maybe a feeling of hopelessness or helplessness leading up to a performance. This study aims to look at how strongly those coping types are connected to the type of perfectionism and to see what their relationship is to music performance anxiety. So this study was conducted through a survey that was sent out on social media to musical performing groups, and ultimately 118 self-identified music performers, music professionals completed the survey. And here are generally the results. So one takeaway is that because perfectionism is such a crucial part of the music industry, and that the goal of all musicians for the most part is to perform a high quality polished product, and because perfectionism takes both PSP and ECP forms, they are both highly connected to levels of music performance anxiety. Essentially, this means that if your goal is to perform at a high level or a perfect level, you will experience some form of music performance anxiety. This article research study also confirmed the relationship between coping strategies, and in the results of the survey found that individuals who were internally motivated employed an active approach. Those who were externally motivated employed an avoidant approach to coping with their music performance anxiety. One final thing that was discovered unexpectedly in this research study, and one thing that's unexpected that was discovered in this study was that for individuals who were motivated through PSP, that if they were highly aggressive in their coping strategy, their active coping strategy of over preparing for a performance found that it actually increased their level of anxiety about their performance. This, as was mentioned, this was an unexpected result of the survey, and McNeil points out that this certainly needs more attention and more research to learn more about this connection.